everybody, this is Stephanie with Informed Parents of California, and today I am sending a warning to the state of Washington, to the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, any teachers, anybody who cares about children. This warning is to you. Right now, your legislators have bills at any moment can be passed mandating comprehensive sexual education. Now, they will tell you it's all about pregnancy prevention, it's about HIV/AIDS prevention, it's about STI prevention, which a lot of people don't know what STI is. It's STDs. They just try to change the language to destigmatize it so our kids don't think it's that big of a deal if they get an STD, because it's an STI now. It's an infection, just like a cold. You take a pill, you get rid of it, no big deal, right? But they're not really telling our children about the harms of STDs, HIV/AIDS prevention. Not only that, I will tell you what it is that they're actually teaching our children that is completely opposite from HIV prevention. And it's actually child endangerment. And they are using the public school system to have a full-on attack of our children. There's literally a war going on in California right now for the minds of our kids, because if they can get their minds and change the way that they believe and change what they think about themselves, change their behaviors, they can take our kids. And I am not telling you this to scare you, even though you should be scared, because if you were in California and here dealing with what we have to deal with, because we didn't know about the law here, which is AB 329. It's the California Healthy Youth Act, which mandates comprehensive sexuality education to our children, mandated once in junior high, once in high school, usually 7th and 9th grade, which that's 7th grade. What are we talking about? Maybe like 12 on the early end, 13, 14-year-old kids, right? Starting. But however, the law allows for them to teach it as young as kindergarten. That's 5 years old. Our 5-year-olds being taught to explore and experiment with sexual orientation and gender identity. Remember, it's called comprehensive sexual education because it's not sex ed anymore. Sex ed was about the birds and the bees, how babies are made, how our reproductive system works. It's about how really, truly, how to prevent pregnancy if a kid decides to have sex, which it was not encouraged, right? Abstinent was encouraged because that is the only safe way to truly not get pregnant or get a disease that you can't get rid of that affects and changes your life and your ability to have a normal, healthy life, to ability to even at times have children and not have reproductive issues, right? But they don't tell our kids this in comprehensive sexual education. It's sexuality education. It is sexualizing our children. The visuals that they give them are pornographic. Playboy is a step up from the visuals that they give our children. They give, and I am just going to be very blunt because this is a clear warning. Because right now, these bills, if you guys don't raise up right now in the next few days, because I think you have like a week or two before they're going to pass this bill on to the next stage or make it law, because there's about 3 bills and there's some other things going on in your state. If the people of Washington do not stand up, you're going to look like California. So I'm going to tell you what it looks like in California. I found out about AB 329, the California Healthy Youth Act, probably about 4 years ago. I started hearing about it. Pornographic sex ed. They're teaching anal and oral sex to children. Yeah, anal and oral sex to children. Now we're seeing that there's actually visuals. These visuals are hidden slides behind slides. So like, I'm going to show you something. Comprehensive sexual education isn't just one day of sex ed. It's a minimum of 2 weeks, right? And so they don't tell parents that. They send home little flyers saying, oh, In 2 weeks, we're teaching comprehensive sexuality education. It's about reproductive, it's about pregnancy prevention, HIV prevention, STI prevention. It's not a full disclosure. You think you're getting a permission slip, right? Because if a parent actually gets one of those notifications, which I will tell you in California, parents are not getting notified because they don't want parents to know. Because as soon as parents start seeing what's actually in these curriculums, and I'm just gonna read some stuff off to you. I don't have some of the visuals that I wanted on hand, but so basically they show a big vagina. It's all sexual organ parts, right? It's a huge vagina in your face, gynecological style. That's what I'm saying. Playboy doesn't even show those views of women when they are showing their porn. That's more like Hustler. So I'm telling you, Washington, if you want your kids to get some Hustler lessons, you need to rise up immediately. So I'll just show you what one of the resources, one of the slides looks like. These are the ones that are not hidden slides, because the hidden slides you can't actually print out. So if they actually print the slides out, because if they actually tell you you have slides, because since I've been in this battle for I'm going into our 3rd year battling this. It's an uphill battle when it's already been law, because nobody was told that this law was going to pass. Nobody was told about this bill. The people of California didn't vote on this bill. So we're having to fight something that's already mandated, something that has already been planned out, and the stages have already been planned out on how they're going to implement, and now they're just making it happen. And we're literally playing whack-a-mole every day. We are like, it's a war here in California. And I will tell you, in Orange County, California, it's ground zero, because we are rising up parents across the state in every single school district in California. And I'm going to tell you, you guys need to do the same thing. Your state isn't as big as California, and it's not law yet. So tell everybody you know. So I'm just going to go over a few things. This video is getting a little long, but it's really important stuff to know. So basically, like I said, it's comprehensive sexuality education, right? Because it says human sexuality, sex, gender expression, sexual orientation, and gender identity. They're teaching our children that they can be any gender they want. And we're not just talking about teaching them to be a boy or a girl. Boys can be girls, girls can be boys. They're telling them that they can be both. They can be none. They could be a unicorn. Like, seriously. The stuff that they're teaching our kids is insane. That there is infinite amounts of genders. And you can have sex with whoever you want. They're teaching our children in the law, AB 329, it states that it's mandatory to teach our children negotiation skills, right? Negotiation and then refusal skills. What are we talking about? We're talking about teaching children, minors, who it's illegal for them to have sex. It's illegal for them to be able to consent to any sexual activity. They're teaching our children how to negotiate for child sex, how to give and receive consent for child sex. Why do they want to teach our children as young as kindergarten how to give and receive consent for sex? Because they're setting up the stage to remove consent laws, to open up our children to be preyed on by adults. And all they have to do is say it was consensual, even though the minds of our children are not fully developed until they're 25 years old. But a 5-year-old, if you teach them how to give and receive consent for sex, it's all good now, right? That's where we're headed in California. That's the stage that's already being set. That's what's being taught in schools, how to give and receive consent for child sex to our children who cannot consent legally, right? And I mean, we're talking about child sex. That alone, that statement alone, should frighten you. So they're teaching them about transgender. Now, you want to know what's happening now? They just put in LA County 50 clinics in schools across LA County The clinics are Planned Parenthood clinics. Because did you know in California, our children have confidential medical services that they can leave campus and taken off campus or allowed to leave campus to go get confidential medical services. Confidential from who? Parents. Parents' permission is not needed. Parents' notification is not needed. They will not tell you that your child left to go get a surgical or chemical abortion. And now, Planned Parenthood, you know what they provide? Transgender treatment. We're talking about the hormone blockers to stop puberty in our children. Those medications that are sterilizing our children, are doing harm to our children, they're going to have those. The California Teachers Association had business items that they have approved because they support having transgender medication, hormone blockers on school campuses, in these clinics, in these wellness clinics, because they just want to make it so convenient for kids to be there. No, they're taking control of our kids. And that's what we're facing in California. And I'm going to tell you, Washington, if you don't stand up right now, and I mean right now, you're in immediate danger. The state of Washington is about to pass these bills. And right now, it might not be the wellness clinics and the hormone blockers in schools, but we're only 4 years out, okay? We're 4 years from when the law passed mandating this stuff, and it is coming. I'm going to tell you, in the last month, I have seen such an acceleration happen of what's going on in these schools. Teachers do not want to teach this, but the unions are bullying, harassing, and threatening them. They literally have to teach our children condom relay races, where the kids get they each get a card with a different, okay, rip open the condom packet, pull the condom out, put the condom on the penis, stick the penis into the vagina, have sex, ejaculate, remove the penis from the vagina, remove the condom, throw the condom in the trash, do not reuse a condom, and then run to their partner, give them a high five, and run back. And the teachers are encouraged to be enthusiastic about this with the kids. We're talking about 12, 13-year-old kids, and it could go as young as kindergarten. We have places here, there's a few districts in California that immediately were trying to push it in the elementary school, right? Washington, we need you guys to wake up to what's going on. This is serious. There is a full-on war attack going on our children and our parental rights. They are stripping our parental rights here in California, left and right. Every time we figure out their schemes, how they're lying and deceiving us, how they're being invasive, how they're stonewalling us, we have found videos of teacher trainings where teachers in the California Teachers Association conferences teaching parents, and this was back in 2015, and we're just barely discovering it, how they're training them to lie to parents about what's going on, to use gender neutral language so they don't give away anything that's going on. This is serious. We need you to stand up. This is probably being posted on Informed Parents of Washington, and you may be seeing this somewhere else that shared the post. Go to Informed Parents of Washington on Facebook. Reach out to them. Tell them that you want to get involved. They're going to be going to your guys' legislation capital there, and you need to go with them. You need to pull your kids from school, and you need to go. You need to make the sacrifice to take the day off work and go. Because what's about to happen to your kids, you want to know what our life has been? Our life has completely changed. It's upside down. Our whole life is revolved around this because we're literally having to play whack-a-mole, trying to figure out how to stop this with our kids. We have no idea what goes on in those classrooms 5 days a week for 7 hours. They have GSA clubs, Gay Straight Alliance clubs. So this is not even sex ed going on in the schools. The teachers are actually purposely, intentionally bringing in these schools, finding a student leader because it's supposed to be student-led, student-initiated, but it's not. It's teachers. We have videos of teachers actually saying they pick the sickest of the kids from the counseling office to actually be the student leaders, but it's really the teachers pushing it, and they're talking about all of this different sexual stuff. They actually said that they use the Kinsey scale testing on the kids as one of their fun activities. You want to know another fun fact that they tell our kids? A fun fact is if you have anal sex, since it's not part of the reproductive system, you won't get pregnant if you don't use a condom. That's a fun fact. Another thing that they're doing is out of teacher resources that's not even in here, right? That if we actually even got this, which takes us forever to get it, because they don't want us to see it, they don't tell us about the slides, are books. They have resources. They can bring in anything because teachers have the right to bring in resources. It doesn't have to be approved by the board. There's links, resource links in the curriculums that they tell the kids to go to that take them to websites for these same resources. One of them is a book called Sex, an all you need to know guide to get you through your teens and 20s. It's a how-to manual. It's about this thick. I don't have it. My friend's borrowing it right now, but if you go onto YouTube, my YouTube channel, Informed Parents of California YouTube channel, you will see me holding a yellow book. That's the book. In that book, it's a how-to guide on body fluid and blood play. What is it? How do you do it? And it actually tells them what it is, how you do it, some concerns people may have, but how it's no big deal. It actually talks about cutting your partner, bondage, sadomasochism, S&M. It has that in there. What is it? How do you do it? Fisting inside a vagina and an anus. It literally is teaching our children how to insert their fist inside somebody's vagina or anus. Now, I could not even wrap my mind around how a fist can fit inside somebody's anus, right? But after reading this book, I know exactly how to insert my whole hand, because it tells you to put one finger, then two fingers, and then once you get all the fingers in there, then you can open them up and wave them around and move around. It literally says that. Body fluid and blood play. We're talking about, this is supposed to be HIV prevention, but they're telling them how to, people like to smell, taste, lick, all kinds of stuff with the body fluid and blood play. This is disgusting. It talks about golden showers where people pee on each other for sexual pleasure. It teaches them how to put their mouth on somebody's anus for sexual pleasure, as in you can have oral sex on an anus or a vagina. This is what's going to happen to your children if you do not rise up right now. And if I told you everything, or even half of it, this video would keep on going on and on. I'm telling you just some clips of what we're dealing with. We go to school board meetings. This is our life now because the bill already passed and we were not warned ahead of time. But maybe we would have even known. Maybe we wouldn't even believed it, because how can we actually believe that at schools they would teach this stuff, right? We wouldn't believe it. And you may not believe it there in Washington. So we're telling you, come over to Informed Parents of California and see what's going on. Go to Alliance to Protect Children. See what's going on there. See what we're posting in these different groups. There's so many groups in California right now. Go to these groups. Go to stopcsc.org. It's a worldwide thing. It's a UN push. Rise up immediately, because your children are in clear and present danger right now, immediate danger, and they need you to step up, because you're going to get your parent rights stripped from you and you won't be able to protect them. The teachers are being held, they are forced to teach this. They're forced into silence. They're threatened, bullied, and they're harassed. They have major consequences if they try to stand up and say, no, we don't want to do this to the children. So please rise up now. Find out on Informed Parents of Washington what you need to do, where you need to go, and rally together. Start organizing and start speaking up and telling everybody. Share this video, share everything you see on Informed Parents of Washington, and start taking these action steps, because I'm going to tell you, if you don't do it now, you're going to have an uphill battle that's almost impossible when these pass. So once again, this is a warning from Informed Parents of California. My name's Stephanie, and I'm warning the state of Washington. There's an attack on your kids and your parental rights. Stand up now and join your state